I'm Alan Jones, Executive Editor for Boating World Magazine. Well, today I'm with Steve Matt, who's the PR Manager for G3 Boats.
Alan?
We're aboard the Angler V185F. I'll tell you what, we were looking at this front deck earlier, and we've got a lot going on here. What's happening?
Well, you got plenty of lockable storage up front, but one of the things I like about this boat is there's a front live well and a rear live well. There's also a massive rod locker system built into the bow of this boat. And if you combine the locker system that is in the gunnel with the locker system here, you have a total rod storage for 16 rods, long, nice, big rods.
So this is a boat for serious fishermen, right?
Yeah, I kind of call this a big water boat for big fish. And as we move through the boat, you'll see some of the features why I think this is a really great boat for big water and big fish.
I like having the charger up here. That's a great idea. But let's take a look at the helm and see what we have.
Sure.
Well, Steve, I love the fisherman's driving office here. Tell me what we have.
Well, what we have is a captain's chair that is air cushioned ride. We also have quality Yamaha gauges laid into the dash on this boat. The rod locker and the live wells that I mentioned earlier, really nice feature I think is that all of those are lighted. So if you're out night fishing and you've got bait or you've got a fish in the back, you can hit a switch with a light and check on the fish. Or if you're looking for a specific rod in the box, you got a light to find it with.
Well, I tell you what, some of these walleye guys are crazy. You told me you've done some walleye fishing on the circuit as well, and this boat's really set up for that rough water experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it rides real high and nice, so even in choppier water. You'll notice when you drive it that it lifts good, it gets way up high above the water. This boat is actually rated for a 200, and I only have a 150F 154 stroke on here, but you'll see that it's going to push 50 mile an hour even with that motor.
Well, I can't wait. One of the features I really love was the fact that the Bimini top can affix to this really tall windshield, really protect you from the elements. So you're basically sealed in, aren't you?
Yeah, if you lay the windshield, the full wraparound windshield together, there's a curtain that goes right here to block the wind, and then you pull the Bimini up and snap it down. You're pretty well protected from the elements in this boat, and as you know, some of those big waters can get pretty nasty with wind and weather.
I'll tell you, I'm from Florida. Any protection I can get, I'm all for it. I'll tell you what. Now, one thing I like is, anglers like to have a little fun too, and they like their tunes. So I noticed we have a nice little stereo there.
Yeah, sure. When you're out fishing during the day, it's nice to have a little music or the news in the background. And this has a Sony Marine Entertainment System laid into it. It also has two 12-volt plugs in this boat, which, when I go out, I'm always plugging my cell phone in just to keep it charged. This gives you an additional 12-volt plug to plug something else in, a GPS or some other item.
Excellent. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go back in the back and see what we have here. Well, I'll tell you what, up north, I notice a lot of the anglers like the trolling motor in the rear. You can accommodate that here, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. This boat is pre-wired for a 24-volt trolling motor system, and you could put one in the rear or one on the bow, or actually I've seen them in both places depending on the fishing conditions.
Yeah, get that back trolling for the walleye, right? Nice. So what do we have going on here?
This here is the storage for the batteries as well as some other items. And in here is one of the reasons I call this a big fish boat, because it's got a massive live well that goes all the way back underneath here. It really pumps a lot of water for, a large walleye, muskie, catfish, whatever, and would keep it alive for a long time.
Man, I'd love to catch a muskie that would just barely fit in this thing. That would be a monster.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I like is this is actually still a usable space back here. Usually it's not.
Right. There's enough space back there to put some smaller tackle boxes or things and keep them, handy and accessible for the person that's sitting in the pedestal here.
Well, thanks for showing me around. Appreciate it.
You bet. I hope you enjoy it.
We just finished testing the G3 Angler V185F. It's powered by Yamaha's 150 four-stroke. Now, this boat is actually rated for a 200, but with a 150, I'll tell you what, it's a really nice package. We got to plane in 2.5 seconds with a 0 to 30 time of 6.2 seconds, and we got 49 miles an hour out of this boat, which this is a deep V aluminum hull, so that's very exceptional speed there. So you definitely don't need the 200. Might get you like 53 miles an hour, but really great acceleration. This boat handles really well. We got into a little bit of chop, and it ate it up pretty well. Didn't have anything exceptionally large, but this boat is designed for some rough water. All these guys that fish up north with these multi-species boats, they got to be able to handle just about anything. And I like the fact you have the full windshield here, and I'm a 6-footer and I can actually see underneath it. It always kind of is a little irritating when you have the header right in your line of sight. For more information on the G3 Angler V185F and other great boats, go to boatingworld.com. I'm Alan Jones, and we'll see you out on the water. I can't believe I didn't bring a fishing rod. One of the pro anglers just came in and said he caught 70 fish, 70 fish. Unbelievable.